day 21 of our Joy Conversation. We are excited. I know I'm excited to have this young lady here with us this evening. And as our Joy community starts logging in, yes, hello, Cheryl. Welcome. Hello, ladies. Hello. Going to get our watch party set up so that we can create a boost. All right. Yes. Hello, Sean and Carla. Wonderful. Awesome. We are streaming in. People are jumping on. Yes, it's awesome. Hello, Ashley and Esther. Wonderful. Come on in. Give us a wave. Give us a thumbs up. Let us know that you are here and ready and present. Yes, we are excited. Hello, Ivania and Stacy. Wonderful. I want to make sure that we are streaming clearly. We're good. Oh, I'm getting an error message. Yes, I just want to make sure. Can someone confirm for me that it is streaming clearly? Because I'm getting an error message. Are we good? Not so sure.
We're good.
We're good? I'm getting an error message. Can you? Hello. It's working. All right, Sean. All right, we're good. All right, we will keep going. We will keep it working. So yes, fabulous, because Facebook is trying to trick me, tell me that there's an error message and throwing me off. That's great. Fantastic. Then we will keep it moving. All right. So this evening, I have the pleasure of being able to talk with Miss Jada Smith. And can I tell you, the moment I met her, she absolutely just captured my heart with her ability to speak her own truth, to have such a passion and a purpose behind her organization, and to be able to have wisdom that honestly, sometimes I have not been able to see that in some adults. And so I said, you know what? I want you to be a part of our joy conversation and to share your journey of joy and how you've used joy and your faith to overcome your obstacles, and to share a little bit about the organization you have created. So, Jada, I just want you to kind of introduce yourself and then share about Swag.
Okay, hello all. My name is Jada Smith. I'm a junior at Clarion University. I play basketball. I'm on the college team. My major is psychology, and I want to tell you this is SWAG. So, SWAG is abbreviated SWAG, and it's Scholars with Athletic, Artistic, and Academic Goals. It is an organization dedicated to motivating, uplifting, and encouraging and helping young women reach their goals through mentorships, workshops, and scholarships.
Yes. Fantastic. So tell me a little bit about why did you start SWAG? Where did it come from? What made you create this organization?
Okay, so in ninth grade, I was actually graduation of eighth grade. I was graduating and I was on the honor roll. I did two sports, and a lot of guys were getting more awards for what the same thing that I did. So I said, well, I want to make sure a girl can earn the same award that I think I should have deserved. So I decided to put actions in my own hands, and I said I'm going to start my own award called the Jada J Distinguished Student Athlete Award. So that award is given to a scholar who maintained on honor roll for 2 years and played two sports. So I started that in the ninth grade, going into high school at Mary Mercy Academy, and I've been going back to my middle school every year to give back to them. It's only given to one girl. I make sure that I get to meet her, we get to talk, and they look forward to winning that award every year. So it started there, and I realized the impact after about 3 years. Certain little girls were coming up to me. I'm going to work hard in school. I'm gonna make sure I play my sport and do good. And I really like to emphasize the fact that it's not always easy being a student athlete. So giving that shout out to them, like work hard on the court or off the court also is just as important. So um, it started there. Then I started to just go and talk to girls in the fifth grade. So I'm like, I love talking to the younger group. So um, they they wrote me letters, they would reach out to me. And one time I went in and we had a presentation and I made it, Who Are You and Who Am I? So my favorite activity that I love with them is everyone in the room had to go around and say one thing about themselves, but they couldn't say that they were an athlete, a dancer. They had to say, I am beautiful, I am phenomenal. Because sometimes we don't think about those things about ourselves, and we often go to what everyone sees when us. Everyone sees that I'm a basketball player, but they don't know I am phenomenal. So I like that. I like that we had that activity and they got to see. And then some people struggle, and it's okay. I wanted to make sure they knew that it was okay. But it started there.
And you know what, Jada, because if I could just pause you there, because being able to separate yourself from the label that somebody else puts on you versus your internal value is,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, and I'm telling y'all, tell the truth in the chat, y'all. There are some grown women who struggle to separate between the label that, or the title, or the role that they have versus the intrinsic value of who God has made them to be. And for you to already be helping young people, young girls, to identify that distinction is powerful. You're helping them get to a place that honestly some of us as older women had to learn late. And it's a powerful force that will absolutely help them go far. The chat is blowing up. Carly said, love the acronym and what it stands for. Great positive encouragement for their accomplishments and hard work. Stacy says, I love the I statement, encouragement, as well as pushing the young ladies out of their comfort zone. This is great. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. They love it. They love it. Now you see why I asked you to come.
Thank you. So then I decided, okay, I want to figure out how to combine everything that I'm doing into one. So I started brainstorming. I'm like, what should I call it? And I like swag. I love that. I think it's good because you have a balance to be a girl, to be able to switch it up, to be an athlete, to be artistic, to have all these different things all combined into one. Like that's so amazing to me. So I said swag. So we abbreviated. I started thinking of some things. And then I came up with the plan. So I came up with this plan, and then I had a little trouble. I came to my stumbling block. I'm like, what happens if it doesn't blow up? Like, what happens if I have this great idea and it doesn't really go far? So I actually had a sermon, and I was like, it was about purpose. And the main thing that my pastor mentioned, he said, why sit on a blessing when you can touch the lives of others? And it hit me like a ton of bricks. I'm like, I'm stopping myself because I have fear, and I'm supposed to have faith. God gave me this blessing for a reason, and I need to go out and achieve it. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to go out. I'm going to go submit it. I'm going to put it out there. And I put it out there, and love that I received from it is amazing. And now I'm glad that I can get other little girls to wear the same t-shirt as me. And they're like, oh, she's so cute. And then they get to all see it into one, but also to still be young and to help other young people to realize, like, you can start anything you want to do. Like, if you put your mind to it and you believe in yourself, you can do it.
Yes, and overcoming that moment, it's okay. So we talk about emotions. It's okay to have that moment of fear, but not being stuck by it. And
Yes.
recognizing we can't sit on our blessings because we're preventing somebody else from receiving a part of our purpose if we sit in doubt. Sean says, don't block the blessing that you are to others. She's awesome. They're loving you. They're loving you. Yes. Come out. Now you see.
Oh.
Yes. Yvonne says, wow, that's powerful. Absolutely. So I want you to talk a little bit about what life lessons have you learned in not only the process of creating swag, but I know that you've had to overcome some adversity in order to even get to the mindset that you're in right now. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes. So I'll say my biggest adversity that I faced this past year was I tore my ACL, my ACL, my MCL. I tore it in my sophomore season, and I was only 4 games in. I fell down to the ground, and I lied to you guys not that the first thing that happened when I fell, of course I cried, screamed, hollered, but the moment I got to get back up and sit and put some ice on my leg, I said, Grandma, can we pray? Me and my grandma prayed, and that moment still touches me because I just think it's so strong that was the first thing that I thought about. Like, I need to pray right now because God is in this. I'll tell you guys now, it was very hard. Every day was very tough. My coach of the university that I was at, she got fired. I was trying to have a breakout sophomore year. So this was really tough. I struggled. So then I said, you know what? I'm just going to stay at the school because I was comfortable. I knew those people. I knew the university. I didn't want to go anywhere new. God had other plans. Clearly, he had other plans. And God literally said, take a step on faith. I cried. I tell you, I was like, I don't think this is going to work. Nobody wants to enter prayer. Like,
I'm comfortable. I don't want to.
Nobody knows how I'm going to come back. And I took a step of faith. I got into the transfer portal, and God worked so many miracles. I met so many great coaches. I got offered full rides. So I got to choose what school I wanted to go to, what university I wanted to choose to my academic and my basketball career. And most people don't even get this opportunity in a lifetime. So to be hurt literally only 4 months out of surgery and to have multiple full rides and scholarships, that was only God. Like, that was only God. I didn't do anything. All I did was go to school, do good in school, and he worked through me and helped these opportunities come for me. So hardest adversity year was being hurt and feeling helpless because you honestly can't. Your knee is very important. You honestly feel very helpless, but the blessing of the adversity, it taught me so much about myself. Now, there's things that can't knock me off my square. There's things that I learned about myself during that time. I was stronger than I ever thought. I learned that my biggest lesson was like, why is this happening to me? Most people, when you go through something hard, you go, why is this happening to me?
Why?
I had to shift my mindset and I said, well, what is this teaching me? So when I looked at it that way, I'm like, if I ever wanted to be a coach, I can help a young athlete and say, hey, I've been hurt. I know what it's like to share my story. I think sometimes my favorite thing is God sending you through a test to find your testimony.
Mhm.
And now this testimony is like I can share this story because all I had was probably a little bit of mustard seed right there. And God worked it out. And that's my biggest adversity, but the best part about adversity is it reveals to you who God is, how deep your faith is, and it is hard, but it molds you. It molds you. It does something powerful. So
Absolutely. And I listened to how you had to be willing to give up your plan. You had to be willing to submit to the unknown
mhm,
and step out, recognizing that you said I had a mustard seed amount of faith, but watching God show up in the middle of it with just a mustard seed. That's all that you needed.
mhm,
And that life lesson has given you, as I listen to you talk, that's given you a stronger understanding of your relationship with Him and
yes,
who He's called you to be.
right,
What
right.
what's actually in you? You
Mhm.
shared a couple of life verses that you stand on that have helped you really understand joy in a different way. Um, can you share those with me?
Yeah, so I'll say my number one Bible verse that I love the most is Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I think whenever I am second guessing, worried, I'm like stuck doing homework. Like, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me because it's something about just having a moment of silence and saying that moves me, and I feel God presence around me. He's like wrapping His arms around me, telling me, "I'm okay. You got this. I'm giving you strength." And another one that I just absolutely love is when doubts fill my mind, your comfort gave me renewed hope and cheer. And that's Psalms 94:19. And that's just a movie, because I feel like we all at some point encounter doubt. And the comfort of having God just around you just gives you another, just helps the doubts erase. And there's one thing I always love. I like tweeted about it, I post about it, and it's called What You Planted, What God Planted in Faith. No, what you planted in doubt, God planted in faith.
Yeah.
And it's just saying that what God planted for you, doubt can't mess with that. Like doubt can't come in between that. And if you just trust God and just trust the plans that He has for you,
Mhm.
literally, He'll work it out. He'll work it out.
Mhm. People are, it's blowing up. I can't even keep up with it. Kim said, "You are such a wise young lady." I know, Kim. That's why I said I need her on the broadcast. Oh, man, Tammy says she's proud of you. All
Oh,
things. Lavinia says all things. And I'm telling you, Jada, there is something so powerful in at such a young age to have an awareness and understanding of the truth of God's character. Something that I know when we have been in fearless conversations, something we've talked about is when adversity hits, it will knock you to your lowest revelation of
yes.
who God is.
Mhm.
It won't necessarily be the Bible study, it won't be the book that you read. It will knock you to your lowest revelation of who God is. And what I'm hearing your heart say is that you have grown through adversity to know him in a completely new, different, bolder way.
Yes.
And I love that. I love that. So, how for you, how does joy play a role in all of this? What role does joy play in this process for you?
I think I think after you go through adversity and you find the light, um, the joy that comes through to you, it can't be touched. It's a joy. The joy you learn is within yourself. I don't need a basketball to find my happiness. I don't need I don't need anything besides my word, honestly, with the Lord to find my joy. And that's what I realized. If you're true to yourself and you're just and focused on the positives and trying to find what God is asking you or why God is putting you through this, if you focus on the positives of what he's doing, you're moving in more of a positive note and that brings joy that stays with you. And I usually sometimes we confuse joy and happiness, and I know a lot of people have talked about this, but happiness is sometimes more what you do, like in building upon that. Like, oh, I find happiness in playing basketball because I keep doing it. But the joy is waking up every day. That's joy right there. That's the blessing. That's the it's in other words, it's the raw feelings. You can't really control those. Those just come to you. And when you I think the joy of the relationship with God that I built through adversity and overcoming certain things really helped me. Like I can just give a little example because this wasn't always easy. Like the ACL and the MCL was one of my hardest, but also in my freshman year of high school, I lost 7 people and I got frustrated. You don't really understand why as a freshman in high school, but I was able to rebuild my relationship with God in a deeper lens and a deeper perspective of like understanding that hey, sometimes things happen because they happen and God knows why. You don't know what life that other person was going through. You don't understand all the time why he had to take someone away, but it happens, and I really that was my breaking, but it molded me. Sometimes you go through the oil process, you know. Honestly, sometimes you got to go through the pressing, the breaking, and to get to the making, And that really helped me build upon my joy to even walk into this next to becoming a person of opening my own organization. Like
Mhm.
all of that, everything that I encountered helped me get to this point right here, helped me become this person. So the joy now is within. Like joy helps you with confidence. I tell you, like it's something that just is so empowering that I really hope everyone gets to have that feeling of joy. Not it's not happiness, but the joy.
The joy that can't be taken away. That, and I love how you explained the breaking that led to the making. And I value that, especially in this season, because people could absolutely get stuck in what is going wrong and what they don't have. But just as you just shared, being able to pause and say, Lord, what am I supposed to learn from this?
Mhm.
What am I supposed to gain a deeper understanding? And how is our relationship? How could our relationship change on the other side of this?
Mhm.
Absolutely. I love it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, this 30 minutes goes so fast. And we're already at like 5:25. Is there anything um, around what you've learned um, in the process of where you are right now? So, how are you using joy, what you've come through to navigate this season you're in right now?
Okay. So during this time, every morning I wake up, I read my Bible, and I actually didn't start from the beginning. I actually started at Psalms, and I read 2 verses a day. I mean, two verses completely throughout through the day, and I I post a devotion. It's called Worry Less, Pray More from a book. And I also post a quote of the day. So I make sure I use that on all my platforms because one, not everybody has a devotional book, or not everybody knows. You never know what your devotion that you read could help somebody else. So every day I post it Monday through Friday because I I want to help in any way, especially bring positivity and make sure people know that God is in this. Like He put us on a pause for a reason, and it's I'm actually glad for the pause, honestly, because it gives me a time to go back into my word, get deeper, reach out to my friends, and spend time with my family. So especially with me being far away from college. So um posting the quote of the day, you never realize how much those little quotes actually help someone, but they bring motivation. You never know, somebody might have woke up on the wrong side of the bed and turned over and looked on your post and you're like, oh, I needed that. And then so that's very empowering. So that's one way. I've been planning and prioritizing, understanding that time is more valuable than anything. um, and you don't have to always be right next to somebody, being face to face, but learning other ways to love on each other, learning other ways to interact. I think that's been one of the beautiful things about this. You can still have like a Zoom party and interact with one another and still feel the genuine love. That's support also coming through those lives. And I think that's amazing that we're also finding another way to interact with each other. And during this time, basically reading scripture, praying, just staying positive in any way possible, and always checking on everyone. Like, stay together, stay united.
And what I love about not only your testimony, but your whole move with swag is that you have taken adversity and turned it inside out, and you're focusing more on the generosity that you're giving towards others as opposed to just keeping it to yourself. And it's that's a powerful move and something that we've been sharing on the Joy Conversation over and over again. That this how you process what you're going through right now is not going to be just about you. How are you going to come out of this? How are you going to impact others? What are you going to do with this time so that you don't miss the lesson he has for you in the middle of it? And what I was listening to you just talk about, and I actually was in a coaching, I did a professional development for a group of adults this morning to talk about the power of a routine.
Yes.
How important a routine is.
Yes.
You just broke down a routine. I hope everybody in the chat, you got some notes. Because sister just broke down a routine that feeds your mind and your soul. And even in her routine, she has figured out how to touch other people, creating legacy. And how old are you?
21.
21. Creating legacy already. I know if I did have to stay on the camera, I would be shouting, y'all, I need to run. I need room to run. I need room to run. But so the question is, and I knew this question was going to come, people want to know, how can they support swag and the mission? How can they support swag and the mission?
So you can support through Instagram, and my @ name is __ swag for a girl. So it's the number 4. And also if it's easier, you can just @ me on Instagram also at __ pretty JAY. Whichever one is easier for you. My name is Jada Smith, and they both are. Swag page is easier because it has everything organized on there. And I actually just came out with long sleeves, but I also have short sleeve t-shirts also. And anyone, I'm going to start to do more things so that we can get more people to know about it, just so that we can all come up together and get a chance to be a part. And I also,
so they can purchase the shirt
yeah.
through your Instagram.
Yes.
Okay. And just so everyone knows, her Instagram account is in the show notes. So it's in this post. It's right above our video. So if you want an opportunity to purchase a shirt and support Swag, her movement of generosity to help others, and it's middle school girls.
All middle school girls. And just to let you guys know, all donations are sent or put in a certain bank account for the scholarships.
So it all goes to 100% goes to the scholarships for the Swag girls. So click on, find her on Instagram. You can copy and paste it straight out of the show notes to keep it easy. Can you show us the shirt? They want you to stand up so that they can see the shirt.
This is the shirt.
It is the cutest old puff girl thing. I told her I need my shirt. I need my shirt. I'm on to get me a shirt.
We're mailing them out, so I'm gonna get you yours.
Yes, yes. So Jada, we always end the show with kind of thinking about a particular person. And I'd like for you to speak to the young people, any young person who might be watching, and they're struggling in this season. We've got seniors who aren't going to be able to have their graduations at the time that they thought. They don't have the social connections and going out and hanging out with one another. And so their mindset might be not where it could be. Mm-hmm. Can you speak to what advice would you give a young person in this season?
The advice that I would give is to embrace this. Find the good, even if it's one thing. Find the good. Find something positive about this, because even in the dark time, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. So there's going to be something positive, and even though it's hard, everyone's life has changed. You're not the only one. Lean on one another. Open, vent to somebody. Look out. In other words, if someone checks on you, be open, be honest. And just to any person going through this time, if you have a dream, continue to believe in that dream. You never know, what your dream could help somebody else do. So stay true to you and embrace adversity. That's embrace it, because there's good in it. It's going to make you a better person. It's going to show you, reveal you, help you with your relationship with God. And that's just the circle back of understanding that, and just pray more than anything. Worry less. Give it to God. Honestly, let Him take the will. And even though this is tough, it could be a tough time, there is so much joy in this. If you find the joy, if you focus on that, you'll wake up every day like, this is amazing, actually. You just have to find it. And that would be my best advice to anyone, is to always embrace adversity, because it's going to come. Because God always believes. I always say this: God gives His hardest battles to His strongest soldiers. So just always remember that. Just remember, hey, I'm a strong soldier. That's the biggest thing, and that will help you ease your pain, ease your doubts, ease your worry, because you'll realize the positive. I'm a soldier of God. God gave me this for a reason, and now it's for someone else. So that's my biggest advice. Yes.
Yes. God has given this to me for a reason, and it is for somebody else. Do y'all hear this wisdom from this young woman? I am so grateful and so thankful for you sharing your heart. So Tammy wants you to repeat one more time about the scholarship for Swag. So
okay.
Explain the scholarship process for Swag.
So the scholarship process, I have given, every year I go back to my middle school. It's under Jada J, Distinguished Student Athlete, but the whole organization now is under Swag. And that's given to a girl who's on honor roll and completed 2 sports. Every year I give her a plaque and $200 towards her 8th grade tuition. Then I also have started, I feel like just as much as sports, I give for uniforms. helped out at my high school. This one girl, she couldn't afford uniforms, so I helped her by giving uniforms, going to Flint O'Hara and buying her uniforms, because if she got into this great school, that she should be able to have uniforms and fresh uniforms, you know. So I gave that. I also get I gave one to sorry, I'm trying to make sure I don't repeat myself. The dance camp. So this one girl, she had enough for half, but she got into this big city camp for dance. And I decided, you know what? I'm going to pay for the rest of your. She did good in school, so I said I'm going to pay for the rest of your dance camp so you can go have this one in a lifetime opportunity. So the big thing with all the money, and before I was using all my money because I was just like, I love to give. I don't really keep money for myself, so I rather give than to keep for myself or spend on myself. And um, anything that I see a young person needing help in, I honestly don't mind giving to them, because I don't care if it's athletic, academic, or artistic, or any way possible that I can help, whether it's uniforms, pencils, supplies for a college student, those things. Because if I can be a help, if I can be a servant of God, honestly, then that's good enough for me. So, yeah.
Amen. So now they know how to reach you through your Instagram and her email as well. Her email is in the show notes. It's in the post. So reach out to her. Let us blow up Swag so that she is giving scholarships, and supporting people. You have heard her heart. You have heard her story. You have heard her testimony, and she is ready to be used by God. This is an opportunity and a platform for sister circles. We constantly talk about the power of a sister circle and how we can support Jada to move her vision forward. She has given us advice. In adversity, you do not give up on your dream. Your dream still has purpose in the middle of this. So let us prove to her that Swag has purpose and it has support. So, as we always say at the end of every joy conversation, tag your it.
Yes.
I want Jada's story shared so many times that people cannot but see Swag on everybody's page.
Oh.
So you are taking this broadcast and you are sharing it so that others understand the power of Swag, the heart of Jada, and let us support this young lady who is giving of her heart, who is humbling her soul to the Lord and is being a vessel for Him. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Amazing conversation. Your heart inspires. It is an absolute inspiration. Wise beyond your years. Be blessed. Be blessed.
Thank you so much. I appreciate this.
You are so welcome. So welcome. All right. Tag it. I want your hashtags on your page. Fill my feed. Tag me. The hashtag is Take30 FCLG. Our mission of spreading joy. Spreading joy. We love you. We'll see you tomorrow at 5 for another joy conversation. Bye-bye.
Bye.